Welcome to Talk About Nerds, a bi-weekly, always geeky podcast about all things nerd. My name is Sindre, and with me I have my magically gifted friend Åvar.
Hello.
And my younger edition, the jockiest of nerds, Kenneth.
Hello.
This podcast is a product of Nords and Nerds, a media group where we stream D&D on Mondays, Magic the Gathering on Tuesdays, and Warhammer on Wednesdays every week. Today's episode is sponsored by Victory Point, your local hobby store in Bryne, Norway. Victory Point has a large gaming area where the communities and in-store play are the number one priority.
Victory Point, the starting point of your victories.
So boys, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a little bit of extra time since last time.
Yes.
You've been to London?
Yeah, I've been to London, and we also had to delay one episode as well.
Because I was out sick with COVID, yo.
Yeah. But yeah, I was in London last week.
Nice.
Yeah.
You had a good time?
It's a paradise for geek.
Yeah.
Apparently.
It's insane. So I went to this bar called The Cauldron, where you brew your own drinks as if you're a wizard. So they have sort of like tools around you. You sit sort of like around a school desk with room for two people. And on the right side, there is like a globe with electricity inside it.
Yeah,
Typical magic wannabe stuff. And then you also have like a platform. And if you put your wand next to a symbol on that platform and have a drink on top of it with a small like magnetic spinner inside, it starts to spin. And that's how you sort of mix the drinks.
Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Pretty awesome. And then they have lights that make your drink look different colors. And when you eventually pour your drink, at least the two I had, one of them started to properly boil and smoke was coming out of it. The other one had
dry ice.
Other kind of smoke and stuff.
Yeah.
It was pretty fantastic. And then they had like a welcome drink where you had to do sort of like a ceremony where you're sort of like initiated as a wizard. And you get to pour a drink from sort of like a fixture that hangs from the roof.
Oh.
That looks like a large, sort of like a gem, a diamond that's hanging from the roof. And you activate it with your wand and stuff. It's hilariously awesome.
I will admit that I am ever so slightly jealous of you.
Yeah. So if you ever go to London, check out the Cauldron. It's amazing.
But the most important question, was the drinks good?
The drinks were amazing. The atmosphere was amazing. And you could also buy drinks after. So we got a welcome drink and 2 drinks we brewed ourselves. I think it was like, we paid a total of 800 kroner or so.
800?
For 3 drinks?
For 3 drinks each.
Damn.
Yeah, 3
Yeah, but
drinks.
it's...
6 drink total, 800 kronas.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not
Oh,
bad.
okay. That's
I
not
think
so bad.
No.
And you pay a lot for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
When you brew your drinks yourself, do you know what substance you put in it? Or do you, is it
so
known?
You come in there, and on the table there is a QR code that you scan. After you scan that QR code, you get a list of, I think it's 6 drinks. You can choose 2 drinks there from there. And they come with a sort of like a basket for each drink that you make. And then on this app, you can see the sort of like instructions on how you brew it.
Okay.
So you take this ingredient in there and this ingredient, but all the ingredients have like fancy like magic names. And then in parentheses, sometimes they say what it actually is.
So you know what you're putting in it?
Mostly.
So it's like Eye of Newt, actually vodka.
Yeah,
Well,
but
stuff
some
like
of the things like magical dust,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's something.
Although it's magical dust.
Yeah, but they do ask you if you have any allergies or anything, so it's all good. But you know which kind of alcohol you're drinking.
Yeah, but I have a suspicion that magical dust is probably citric acid,
Maybe.
I think.
I think they had a few different kinds of dusts.
Oh, okay.
They also have alcohol-free variants of everything, in case you have kids or something.
Good option. Good option to have.
Sounds amazing.
It was amazing.
Definitely want to go there.
Yeah.
Would you say it was magical? Oh.
I did say that, yeah.
Yes.
No, it was amazing. And then we, of course, went to the Warhammer store.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. The one
In
that's just
London?
called Warhammer.
Yeah, in London. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And it was Hug?
It wasn't that big.
Huge.
No.
Really?
It's a little bit bigger than twice the size of this room.
Oh, that's not that much.
No.
No, but there's Warhammer stores all over. There's in Oslo and everything. They're not that big. But in Nottingham, where Games Workshop are from, there's Warhammer World, which you have a Forge World store and a lot
Oh,
of
okay.
Warhammer Worlds.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so
I
there's
see.
where like the big Warhammer things are. It's not in London.
And then we went to the Disney store, which is also pretty cool. They have a dedicated department to just Marvel.
Nice.
Or it's not just Marvel, it's Marvel and Star Wars mostly.
Yeah.
But that was fantastic. But it was smaller than I expected.
A lot of
Considering they have their own Disney store, I thought, oh, this is going to be big.
yeah.
But mostly because we went to the toy store right next door, which is, I think it was 5 floors.
Damn.
God damn.
That's just a toy store, but it's amazingly big, and it has everything that you could wish for, like Legos and stuff like that. And then we went to the Disney store after and thinking, okay, Disney has a lot of toys.
No.
No, not that much.
Just a lot of Baby Yodas.
Yeah, they had a lot of different things, but they didn't have much of anything.
No.
So that was a little bit of a letdown, but the Marvel part was fun anyway.
I bet.
Yeah, because it's Disney, it's probably like their movie like characters and stuff, Funko Pops and plushies and stuff like that. So it's not that much.
No, a lot.
There aren't then
uh,
that many Disney toys made, really.
A lot of plushies.
Yeah, I thought so.
A lot of Baby Yodas. Because Baby
Yeah.
Yodas are like the most
Baby.
Yodas.
Oh, Yodas.
Yoda.
Not really, not that many.
What?
The
Isn't
toy
that
store
like,
had more.
ooh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Strange.
Isn't like that the big hype?
They had some, but not that much.
Hmm.
They really, I feel like they're focused on the new of the new. So they had a lot of Boba Fett stuff now, which I haven't seen yet, so didn't really
You haven't?
care
You
too
should.
much.
I
Yeah,
have. It's
I will.
fantastic.
I know.
I've seen a couple of episodes.
I've been to London and stuff, so I haven't had time.
True.
Disappointing.
You know what I've seen though?
What?
Just since we're talking about what we've seen. I don't know if you have ever heard of it, but it's called Racing Dion.
Oh, yes, that one.
Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it, and I've watched up until parts of season 2.
It's. Do you know what it is? Not.
I've seen trailers and stuff like that, yeah. It
It's
seems very awesome.
It's about this kid with superpowers. So it's another superhero show.
Yeah.
But it's the main actors are kids. So it's a fun watch, but when all the main actors are kids, the level of acting is going down drastically.
Yeah, but it's a bit of an unfair criticism towards children to be you're not a good enough actor.
True, but I don't think like a series like that will ever be like amazing, just because of the fact that it's kids.
True, but my problem with it actually is that it seems to be a tad too kid-friendly for me, because it's like the issues are very kid-centric. The problems, like issues, are very kid-centric.
It's
True.
not The Boys.
No.
Everything doesn't need to be The Boys, the TV series. But The Boys TV series was very good. But no, my problem is like a lot of the second season starts off with the social issues the kid Dion has. And it's like, I haven't experienced any of this since I was like 12.
True. Yeah, it's a kid-friendly show, but it's
It's a good show.
It's a
good show.
decent watch if you want another superhero show.
Yeah.
And it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Talking about kid-friendly, do you want to know the thing I think might be one of the coolest things I did in London?
What?
The Frozen musical.
Frozen musical, actually.
It was amazing.
You and you're amazing. Use another adjective, please.
It was awesome.
Another one.
It was beautifying.
Beautifying?
Yeah, it made the world more
So not
beautiful.
enchanting.
No, beautifying.
Okay.
It made the world more beautiful.
Do you know the song?
Fair
Åvar?
enough. Fair enough.
Do you know the song?
Yes.
I don't want to hear this.
You're gonna expect me to sing it, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I was
But no,
thinking about it myself.
The musical was insane just because of the production value. It's like insane. Even like, you know how the main character in Frozen does a lot of magic?
Yeah.
And how do you convey this on stage in a musical?
Probably smoke and lasers to make illusions.
They didn't have a lot of lasers. They had a lot of smoke. But what they had is that most of sort of they had a mix of all of the walls and props they use, all of the scenery. All of it has sort of like digitized screen stuff on it. And they also use lights from the roof to sort of light up the scenery.
Yeah, I suspect that they would use projected textures onto surfaces, which you can see on YouTube, amongst other things, people doing on like larger buildings, which is a very nice way to simulate background, essentially.
Just the level of sort of how much you can hide of what's actually the background with just lights that way. And the way sort of like when she touches stuff and it just glows up and changes color and changes effects, it's just insane.
You can have like a boulder change into a troll because you can control how dark and light stuff is when you project onto it in that way. Essentially, you're forcing people to see a 3D image where there is a 2D one.
Yeah.
Which is a very cool technology. I like it a lot.
But there is a couple of questions there.
Okay.
Because after seeing the musical, you said, it's magical, it's awesome. Okay, that's fine enough. But what makes a 30-year-old man decide, I want to go and see a Frozen musical?
A girlfriend.
And bear this in mind, you don't have kids or anything. You went there on holiday with your girlfriend and you wanted to see a Frozen musical.
First of all, Frozen is a really good Disney movie.
Yeah.
It is really good.
It is.
Both the first and the second. The first is better.
The second is less so.
Yeah.
But yes,
but is it
good.
that good that you need to go see the musical?
So I was going to London knowing I am going to see one musical. I had 3 or 4 options that I was considering.
And
there was 4. Mamma Mia, Doctor Who.
What?
Book of Mormon, and Frozen.
And you chose Frozen?
And then I looked at all of them, and just looking at the sort of aesthetics and the scenery in Frozen makes it look like a much higher production quality than all the others.
Okay, fair enough.
Just because it looks more over the top made. Compared to Book of Mormon, where most of what I could see is them standing on benches and walking around doors. Mamma Mia, almost the same thing. The scenery looked bleak and boring. Harry Potter Doctor Who, looked kind of weird.
Yeah, I suspect it would.
It just feels so wrong.
I've listened to Book of Mormon on Spotify. And based on what I heard, I didn't listen to all of it, but based on what I heard, I would enjoy it quite a bit. Because it's the same people that made South Park.
Yeah, that was my second option going into it. But because of my girlfriend who I went with, that wouldn't have been the most fun option for both of us.
Oh, okay, that's a fair.
So Frozen was the best option for both of us.
Yeah,
I'll give you credit for it. I'll credit you there.
Yeah.
30-year-old man. 30-year
to be
I was
30-year-old man.
I was far from the only 30-year-old man there.
Of course you will.
Going without children.
Okay, I was going to say, but everyone else probably had children.
But to be fair, though, your selection was not stellar.
No. But also, it's a West End production, and they are insane no matter what.
Yeah,
I think they're all worth seeing.
Probably. I haven't been. I need to go. Yes, I need to go.
I can respect you more now, actually.
You started your question with Frozen, and then you respected him less, and then
no.
Oh, okay,
I never respect him less. I just needed to understand his choice. But like a guy who, because if it was like, no, my girlfriend hagged me to do it, she demanded it, or that was the only choice, or it was included in a package deal, it was just like, okay, you don't get respect for that. But actively choosing when you have different options to go and see a Frozen musical when you're 30 years old and a male, I give that respect to that.
I heard your tone when you said you chose Frozen. That was not a respectful tone.
It's respect. It's mad respect.
I think that the problem is his tone there. Sort of like, why should it be weird for an adult male to watch Frozen the musical?
Why should it be weird for an adult male to be a brony? It just
exactly.
is. It just is. It's just facts. There's nothing about it.
You're so little of a nerd.
Yeah.
So I need to be a brony to be a nerd?
No, I didn't say that. Okay. But your excludingness of people who like My Little Pony, bronies, makes you less of a nerd.
I don't exclude anyone who likes My Little Pony.
You said it was strange.
I exclude people who call themselves bronies.
You need to internalize that friendship is magic.
Yes.
No, sir.
Friendship is magic.
No, sir.
Magic the Gathering.
True.
One of the best things about Magic the Gathering,
Yes.
friendship is magic, is that they even have Doctor Who references.
In My Little Pony?
I believe so, yes.
There's a lot of sort of adult hidden content.
Yeah, I think
in
they
My
have
Little
Doctor
Pony.
Who
That
also.
is why there are bronies, and that's sort of the allure of My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Is that it's sort of like made that you can see it with your children and still like it.
And also you have a lot of that in older cartoons where you have like adult messages like hidden in between the lines in the text of the characters. So you have like Dexter's mom and stuff.
But
Well, I mean Dexter's laboratory. Dexter's mom.
Dexter's mom.
Dexter's laboratory, I mean.
Dexter's mom.
That's what's called a Freudian slip, gentlemen and ladies.
that's basically
Another.
why grown-up people watch Dexter. It's because of Dexter's mom.
No,
No, okay.
No.
because it's actually funny.
Okay. But you're saying like all of these kids shows have references and small parts of it being
Not all of them, but quite
Some
a
of
few.
a lot of them have references and small parts catered to adults.
Mm.
Why just don't watch something that's fully catered to adults?
I'll tell you why, because strangely enough, there's a fact that you're probably not realizing, which is that cartoons are made by adults. And they find it funny putting that shit in.
Yeah, but
Think about it, Kenneth. Think about making a children's cartoon. How boring would it be to make it just for children? How boring would it to make a cartoon that's just like fluffy and
I get it.
fun?
I get what you're saying, but still, it's still made for children with some parts put in for adults.
Yeah.
Why not just watch something that's fully for adults? Why
And
watch
I have a
something
question. I have a question for you, which is this: when your child says, "I want to watch cartoons,"
I'll slap them around and say, watch something
No.
real.
no,
No, I
you
won't.
won't.
I won't.
I want to believe that
But I
most bronies have had a child.
Yes.
If you Google a picture of bronies, I'll think you'll change that opinion.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so, because mass media is inherently like biased. So the media you will find about bronies will be the quotation marks worst bronies.
Well, in my opinion, every brony is a worse brony.
I believe the average brony is just a dad who loves his daughter or son.
Probably. I suspect so.
In my opinion, every brony is a guy living in his mom's basement 24/7 on his computer.
Yes.
45 years old.
But so are you.
True.
You played competitive computer games, so you lived
True.
in your mom's basement and didn't see the light of day.
I didn't live in the basement though.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just
Man.
don't understand the whole fiction.
Didn't even get his own basement space, huh?
I didn't neither.
I wasn't privileged enough. You did though.
Yep.
He got the basement. I didn't.
Get wrecked.
But only until I was like, what, a little over 18.
Something like that.
And then they threw you out.
And then I left
Fair enough.
on my own.
You moved into your what's it called? Your girlfriend's parents' basement.
Really?
Yeah. So you moved from
It was a separate apartment,
Oh, okay, fair.
not a basement.
That is slightly better.
basement apartment.
Yeah, apartment. That's what you call that.
Sure. No, I just don't understand all those fixation with every My Little Pony thing and all that stuff. I will never understand it.
But what
You
about
each-
your obsession with Formula One?
That's
That's an unhealthy obsession with a man's toy.
it's a car.
Yeah, it's a man's toy.
It's a transportation.
No,
No.
Formula One is not a transportation tool. It's a toy. It's a large toy that costs multiple millions.
I don't agree with you, but I don't have anything to. I have no comeback.
I know
on
you
it,
don't.
but I don't agree with it. But I don't know what I'm going to say to it. I'm kind of lost for words. But I don't agree with you.
Yes.
I'm going to end it there.
I recognize that you don't agree with me, but you can't refute it. I am
Exactly.
correct.
Exactly. Oh. 1 point for you, Åvar.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Åvar, did you do anything fun while I was away?
While you were away? Not so much, really. I've been kind of inactive in the nerdy sense of the word. Played the usual Magic the Gathering game here on Saturday and done nothing. Well, no, that was the week before. I made the sticker that you can see here.
Yeah. If you're
Will
watching
probably
this
be shown on screen.
YouTube, you can see our stickers on Åvar's coffee mug and my laptop.
Yes,
Indeed.
I did make that, which is somewhat nerdy.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm quite pleased with it, actually.
So you have it on your cup, Sindre has it on his computer, and of course, I have it on my phone.
And I also have it on my phone.
That's cool.
Yes.
I just remembered one more thing I did, which I think you would like. I don't think Kenneth would like it. I went to something called the London Dungeon.
Ooh.
It's a
Escape room?
technically a horror house,
Oh.
but what it really is. It's an interactive museum experience with some scary stuff.
I think I know the one you're talking about because I've heard about it and I think I've seen a picture or two, and it's essentially macabre history, essentially.
Yeah,
And it's
London.
like models and stuff, and you can touch it to a degree. Some of it.
Not really. It might have been that before.
Oh.
Now it's more of a walking through sets with people talking and telling the story
Oh.
of sort of Edward Scissorhands and Jack the Ripper and stuff like that, showing sort of the hangings, the dungeons, the River Thames prison boats, stuff like that. But the thing that really sticks out for me is the commitment and the just how amazing the actors are. And I love, like, this is proper British, a little posh, a little old English, and they're really committed, sort of screaming their lines and always staying in character. And I just find that awesome. And
because
that really inspires me in my DMing, for example, to sort of be at that level when I'm doing my lines in D&D.
I can understand that because the stuff I've seen, maybe it's a different exhibit because I don't think there were any actors. So I would very definitely have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
You called it a horror house?
It's technically a horror house, but there's not really that much scaring. It's more story.
I would actually enjoy that a lot, especially if you remove the or.
Or?
What?
Horror house. I'm sorry.
That fell flat.
No. There's probably one person who laughed. No, but I don't like horror.
Probably Benjamin.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Actually, yes.
No, but I don't like horror or like scary movies and shit. So
and you don't like the interactive history experience either.
No, so I would not enjoy that. Well, I would join if someone wanted to go there. Yeah, but I would not.
If I had been in England, then I would have definitely joined you if it was acceptable to you and your girlfriend.
Yeah, it would have been.
Not I would have gone by myself.
2 meters
would have been.
them.
Yeah,
it's not a
sneaking up behind them, scaring the shit out of them.
It's a group experience, so you're grouped with people that are in line with you.
Fair.
So I think we were around 20 or so people walking and talking. Yeah.
And I would never call that horror house a romantic experience, so it would be fine to have.
If the girl jumps or woman jumps up and you have to carry her or something, I don't know. Yeah. Or she leans on you.
Sure.
Or the man leans on her.
I was even part of the stage show for one of the rooms. They had a courtroom where a judge was sitting and talking about crimes and stuff where people were hung for and stuff. And I think I was taken up. He asked me where I'm from and everything. And my crime was urinating in public or something. But I was let go.
Okay. That just sounded weird.
No, but I think urinating in public was a very serious crime back in the day. Not anymore. You can get a fine, I believe.
Yeah, it's like
most places.
What is it? $500 for peeing outside in Norway in public spaces.
Yeah, it's
really?
2,500 kroner.
Oh, it's
Also, it's
$250.
yeah,
I
$250.
thought they just increased it to 5,000
Could be.
or
Could be.
500.
I don't know.
Could be.
I don't urinate in public places. So
I don't either. Oh, well, if I'm
I don't.
if I'm hiking and there's a forest, then I really have to go.
That's not a public place.
It's a
Oh,
public
it's
place.
actually more now. It's $800.
Ooh. damn.
Oof, that's quite a lot of money.
Let's go.
But that's if you piss outside and show skin.
That's a bit
if
difficult
people
not
can
to do.
see your genitals as you're doing
okay.
it. So if you
it's a-
hide your dick, it's only half.
So it's kind of like public urinating and indecent exposure, kind
Yeah.
of.
And if you're a dick as well, not just showing your dick, you can get up to 10,000.
Nice.
So $1,000.
I think we need to bleep a lot of this episode if we want to
I think it's no
attract
problem.
sponsors or some stuff. So
It's easy to bleep that particular word.
I think Victory Point is fine with us cursing
Yeah,
as our only sponsor right now. So
that's fine.
let's keep it that way.
when we're talking
Yes.
about dick, we mean the English dish, right? Yeah.
Spotted dick.
Yeah.
Spot the
spotted
dick.
Indeed.
It's quite delicious, actually. I've had it. It's nice.
And we said whorehouse. We went Horus Heresy House. Yeah. Indeed.
Nice.
Indeed.
And so, Åvar,
Yes?
I was just thinking about this earlier that we should really get you on the D&D stream
Yes, I
because
really
we're
want to.
closing in on the end of the story and you've watched a lot of the story.
Yes,
So that would be really cool.
I want to.
So we're going to
I
have to
want
fit
to
you
join.
in. We're actually playing 7 people on Monday.
Hmm.
We usually have 6 players, but now we're going to have 7.
7? Not
7.
me?
No. We're having Hicks back again
Ah, I see.
with
Nice.
all of the normal players.
Oh, nice. Cool. I
Yep.
like it.
So we're having all of the smallest people on one side of the table. That's why you're not invited for that one.
God damn it.
I think we're going to have someone have to leave the room for you to sit around the table as well.
Yeah. You need to get down to 4 players if it was going to be a.
Now
You
you're just
son of a
mean.
bitch.
He
Now you're
needs
just
one.
mean.
He needs one of the sides for himself.
I think 4 people around this space is a bit hard when you're not a smaller person.
True. To be fair, Kenneth, I am a big boy.
You are.
I do
Big
recognize
boy.
this.
There's a lot to love.
Yes. There's a lot to hate.
Nah, nothing to hate. A lot
At the
to love.
magic table.
You
If you haven't checked that out, you should check our last Twitch stream. Because that was some funny shit.
You played Hateful Decks.
No, I played Blue Green Simic. It's called Simic, and I gained upwards in the game of like 1,000 health.
Oh my god. Snooze fest.
Nice.
It was funny, not YouTube worthy.
We actually did something really cool yesterday.
Hmm?
We had for the first time ever, we did a 5-camera Warhammer setup.
Yeah. That was cool.
I didn't watch it.
Usually Warhammer is just 2 cameras.
3.
3 with a dice cam,
Yeah.
yeah. And this time they had 2 cameras on the table that they could pick up and move around.
And show miniatures and everything.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's
I should go on Twitch and rewatch that.
It's
little bit of it.
we don't have our videos published on Twitch anymore, so you have to watch it on YouTube next week.
We don't?
No.
Okay.
Because we want people to either watch the live stream or the VOD on YouTube after.
Oh.
Because these VOD on Twitch is just unedited and we don't get sort of the record of the views or anything. It
I
sort
see.
of hurts us
Okay,
to have them available if we don't have them all the time on Twitch.
Okay,
You
fair enough.
Can do it so that we'll talk about that later, but so that subscribers get to see the VODs.
Yeah, but that's
That's
something we
pretty-
can discuss for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about Warhammer and Magic the Gathering,
Don't.
we just did.
Oh,
Can't
shit.
undo that. Too late. But talking about that is, I re-recognized, you do kind of do that every time you play Magic, which is some cards are broken. In the sense they are more powerful than other cards are, and they're probably more powerful than they should be. Which you see again and again in Magic. I don't know if you have that as much in Warhammer. 40K.
Broken stuff.
Yeah.
Every time a new book comes
I believe.
out.
Yeah, I was about to say I heard about the railgun.
Let's just mute Sindre and Åvar for 10 minutes. the way it is in Warhammer right now, is it? Let's say what it's actually Warhammer 40k, not AOS right now. It's Warhammer 40k. How it is right now is that there's 3 armies with basically 70% win rate, and if you join a tournament and you don't play any of those armies, you're bound to lose. There's also a couple of rules that's broken as hell that all new armies get. That's the bodyguard rule, and there's out of line shooting. That's awful as freaking hell. So the game is just broken. The meta in 40k right now is just broken to pieces. It's a crap meta right now. In games in general, if there's like 1 or 2 armies or 1 or 2 characters in the game, whatever, that's like 70% win rate. It's unplayable.
Okay, Grandpa, you don't like to go fast. We understand.
That doesn't make sense. In every game, is like that. If you have 2 champions in League of Legends, that's 70% win rate and just breaking ranked.
Yeah,
it's not fun at all. You can't play it, and I just can't understand how you can release characters or release armies in game system or release cards in Magic that just wins everything. Like, either you have it or you lose.
In Magic the Gathering, it's recognizable by either age, which is they made it without the consideration for eternal formats. Eternal formats being formats where you can play really old cards. They didn't make them with that in mind. And the problem is not only with Magic the Gathering, it's a question of playtesting.
Yeah.
Almost every game company, if it's card games, board games, PC games, console games, whatever the hell it is, they almost always do playtesting. But the problem with playtesting is that's a selective group of people that do this either professionally or do it because they want to, and they intentionally try to find bugs. I'm talking about bugs here, not balancing. They do balance testing as well, but it's not as extensive as 5 million people playing it online, finding every singular broken minor thing that they can to try and break the game. Because a lot of them do try to find those bugs or find those features that are slightly or very much not balanced, which you can see every time a new character goes out to League of Legends, for example. Something about it will not be correct. They have to patch it and fix it. I will make one addendum, though, which is this, that games released now are far more buggy and far less balanced or functional than they used to be. I think the main reason being because at that time you didn't have patching. It didn't exist. If you released a game, that's the game. There is nothing more. The next time we can fix something if we release an expansion pack. So, for example, Diablo 2 and the expansion, which I don't remember the name of.
Lords of Darkness, no?
Yeah, probably. But anyway, excellent game, excellent DLC or extra content.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's like, we need to release it by December. But it's not finished. By December, I said.
Yeah.
And they release it anyway.
Absolutely.
Which is something you experienced a lot of in Cyberpunk 2077. A lot of bugs. I haven't experienced that many of them, actually. I've experienced like 3 or 4 bugs. And I love the game. It's fantastic. But a lot of people had a lot of bugs.
My first playthrough in Cyberpunk 2077, I had 1 encounter with a bug for the entire playthrough. But that was game breaking.
Oh.
That was at the end of a quest. I couldn't end the quest.
Oh.
And if you're in the quest, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You can't save the game, you can't exit, you can't do anything. And it was a very long drive.
I see. That's unfortunate.
And I had to do it 3 times.
The only bugs I experienced were T-posing models. T-pose twice, I think. And my car falling through the ground 3 or 4 times.
But I think the thing about Cyberpunk 2077 wasn't really bugs. It was a lot of bad systems, like the rubber banding for races. You could never outrace a car.
Yeah,
Even if you had a supercar driving sort of the worst RVs in the world, they would keep up with you.
Yeah.
But you would always get away from them, and then suddenly they're behind you because they teleported behind you.
That pissed me off,
and
actually.
That's a very common system to do in games.
Yes.
But I've never seen it so poorly done and so bad. Because if a car is technically that much worse, it shouldn't be able to keep up. So rubber banding should be if cars are generally as good as yours, but the AI is a little bit wibbly and bad, they should still be able to keep up with you.
Yeah.
But if the cars are worse, they shouldn't be able to, no matter what.
No, but for programming purposes, it's easier to just do the rubber banding equally.
Yeah, but that makes a bad game.
Yeah, and then you ended up with what you had in Cyberpunk 2077, which was a potato car that you could see it falling behind you, and then like, boop, I'm here now, haha!
And then you also had stuff like the mods for weapons and clothing, which had basically no information about them. And they didn't stack, even the ones that should stack by logic didn't stack before the, was it like 6th patch? They fixed that. That kind of thing. Like, did they even test the system before releasing the game?
I think they did extensive testing, but the problem was that the media and public outcry for the game should be finished by now, please release it, was too insistent, so they just released it. For my part, I've been aware of a trailer like 4 years earlier, and when we're gonna release it, or we're gonna make it real soon now, it's like, yeah, but I'm personally of the opinion if you need 1 year or 2 more years to finish it, I can wait. Yep. Because I'd rather have the Diablo 2 or 1, a finished, complete, beautiful game, rather than having patchy bullshit.
There are very good ways to do this that a lot of games have started doing, that Cyberpunk definitely should have done, and that's run an open beta.
True.
Usually it's just like MMO games and stuff like that, but I've seen single-player games, I've seen multiplayer games do it before. And it's a very good way to find bugs. And like the game we played recently, the MMO.
Yeah, New World. Yeah.
Yeah. When we played New World, we played the beta. And it was just going to be a beta quickly. We didn't even know at that time that it was a beta. We realized 2 days after downloading it and playing hard, we realized, oh, this is a beta. And it doesn't come out for another, I think it was a month at that time.
I think it was longer than that too. A couple of months.
No, I think it was 1 month, and then when it got close to that date, they delayed it for a month or two additionally. And that's because the beta had showed that they were actually missing both end-game content and proper mid-game content. That sort of made the game very boring in like stretches of like 10 hours of the gameplay.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh shit, we've been testing this part and this part extensively. We've been testing all the systems. It's just that when you get 10,000 players playing the game, it doesn't really work.
Nope.
And so they delayed for 2 months, fixed a lot of these systems, and then released the game.
Yeah.
With a lot of problems.
With a lot of problems, but you can never not have problems in a game.
But a problem a lot of game developers have right now is that they announce a release date way too soon. Or announce the game at all way too soon. So they give themselves a release date that they don't know if they will be able to finish the game by. Because the studio and everyone who gives money to it need to have a release date, need to start hyping up the game. So when they get close and see, oh shit, we won't be able to finish it. If they then push the release date, they will have a lot of angry fans. That gets, you see it again and again and again, people complaining about if they would push games. So then they get forced to release games that's not finished.
I think actually the pushing of the release date and fans being angry, I think the fans being angry is actually a far less serious issue than like game publishers and game media portrays it as, because if they push a game by half a year, I don't give half a shit. No, I can wait.
You can, but
but I don't think it's as huge as an issue as the gamesmedia.com whatever say.
Well, I don't remember if it was Cyberpunk or another game that got pushed. It was that Polish company. Is that the one who makes Cyberpunk?
Witcher?
No. Is it those who make Cyberpunk? I think it's
Yes,
Cyberpunk.
the people who made Witcher also made Cyberpunk.
Yeah, that company. When they pushed that game, they got like 100,000 death threats.
Yeah.
And stuff. So angry fans do matter a lot.
Yes, but 100,000 death threats is misleading because one person can write 100 of those.
Still,
it's very misleading. But yes, it's 100,000 death threats, and that's less of the company being bad by pushing it back. That's what we call bad game fans.
Indeed.
You should never send a death threat.
I think it depends very much about which game and which publisher you're talking about. Because if it's a small game and they get sort of like 10 people hating on them and review bombing them before they're released, that's going to make it a little bit harder for other players who come into this game to actually take the leap to buy it.
Yeah.
If it looks like, oh shit, this has a Metacritic rating of 10%. I don't really want this game. But if it's something like Cyberpunk 2077, which no matter what happens, millions of people are going to buy it, doesn't really matter that much.
And you can fix that problem with just delaying when you announce the game to be sure that you know you're going to be better set for the release. Which
a lot of people do, like Harry Potter game coming out now. It's most likely going to be released in 2022, but we don't know the date yet, and we expect it to be released in the holiday season of 2022. We also expected it to be released in 2021.
Indeed.
I suspect it won't be released this year.
No, me neither.
So,
but
like, if you
that's also something that people get angry about.
Sure.
Like, we know this game has been in development for 20 years. Where the hell is the game? What's the release date? Come on, give us the release date. But that's also part of sort of the marketing strategy that I think
100%.
a lot of publishers are doing a little bit wrongly, because they go to E3 and they run this amazing trailer, which mostly is just quickly put together cinematics from a game that's barely started being developed. And then, this is probably going to come out in a year or two. 6 years later, we have a release date for this game now. And that's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Meh.
In my opinion, a lot of companies, big and small, should just make it so that it's not ideal for economics, the economics part, but just start making the game. And if E3 coincides with half a year before the game is actually going to be ready, then announce that you have something. Not say that it's ready in half a year. Say it's ready in 1 or 2 years, because then you give yourself room to actually finish it.
Absolutely.
I would also say that most game companies could finish the games and then set a release date.
Yes.
And then use the time, the 6 months until release day, to just polish.
Yes.
Polish.
But there has been, I've heard on YouTube videos of people working in games development. It's become a very common issue of not management necessarily, but the backers pushing to get the game released. And the game company is like, it's not ready yet. I don't care. Release it right now.
Yeah, and that's the problem with having game development studios and publisher being separate entities. Because publisher will always only care about one thing. Cash.
Get it done. Yes.
They want the money. They want the sales. But the game developers and the game development company wants a fantastic portfolio of great games that work.
Yeah.
And those two have to sort of work together somehow, which is why we love crowdfunding, which has its own problems.
Yes.
For example, have you heard about a game that was supposed to be released in, I think, 2014 called Star Citizen?
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
I don't know if it was 2014.
It's probably earlier than that.
Possibly, but yes, I've heard about it. I actually watched the trailer and it's like, oh, that looks nice. I'm going to wait until it's released. And it's now 2022. Yeah. Oh, no.
That game has been supposed to be released every year since 2012.
The first module was released in August 2013.
Yeah.
Oof. Big oof. To be fair, what I've seen lately of the game, it looks very nice.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. I don't know if the gameplay is excellent. I don't think so.
The problem is that the guy doing this, Chris Roberts, he's acting like a publisher person.
Oh,
Because
no.
since the Kickstarter, he's always said, we're going to release then, we're going to release then, we're going to release then. And like, he's been saying this since 2012,
Yep.
which is just very annoying. And like, at this point, I don't think a lot of people are even paying attention to Star Citizen anymore.
Oh, yes,
even
they
though
are.
millions of, not compared to the millions of people who actually should own the game
No, a lot less.
True.
from the Kickstarter.
Ch-
I haven't paid attention to this game since probably 2017, maybe.
For me, it's probably earlier than that, since I lost attention.
Yeah.
But a friend of a friend, I talked to them on Discord. They do play the
The modules.
the open, what's available to play now.
Yeah.
They play that, and another one he's paid up to several thousands of dollars, I think, to the game to buy like ships and shit, and it's like, why? You can't play it properly yet.
Indeed.
No.
Well,
And that's if the company doesn't go bankrupt before it finishes development.
Yeah. And also, with all of this sort of in-game purchasing before the game's been released, how is that going to affect the game for everyone else at release?
Yes.
What is the game going to be? Is it just going to be a game for everyone who bought a ship in 2015?
Yes.
That's
what
what
I
looks
feel.
currently, yeah. It doesn't feel like a game that I could start playing now without paying a lot of money, even though I kickstarted it
Originally.
in 2012 or something.
You did?
Yeah.
Oof.
I did. I was paying attention to this game for a lot of years.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
Yeah. It does have a lot of hardcore fans who pays a lot of money, and that's why it's driving so hard forward. But for me as well, I played it, I don't know, 17, 18, 14, 15, 16 a year back then. And when I played it, it was like, this is a cool game. But you see when you enter the game that it's still in production. You see that it's not finished. You can only play parts of it. So it's like, okay, I'll come back to it when it's finished because it's a cool game. But since then, it's never been finished. I've never heard it's never had a release. So I've not had any reason to go back to it.
That game should have been finished. When was the first
2013.
instance? 13? It should have been finished in 2015.
Yeah.
Or possibly 16.
Yeah.
Since it's a very small group who made it. So it's like
It was
16.
originally planned for a 2014 release for the full game.
Yeah.
The full initial plan.
But I think I remember that the initial plan was pushed forward or pushed back or whatever because they got such huge support. So they added more and more stuff.
That is the problem because of the insane Kickstarter and because of the insane crowdfunding after the Kickstarter. They made so much money. I think they started like 3 studios.
Yeah.
Which means just the size of this game skyrocketed. And most games these days do take 10 years to make, especially of this scale.
Yeah,
true.
Which means it was realistic if they had known how much money they were getting, that this game probably wouldn't be done before 2023 or 2024.
Yeah.
If that was the initial plan. I think it just takes longer when you have to build everything like the studios from the ground up and then start to shift the plan into the game that it becomes.
Probably because if they started with the 3 studios they have now or whatever, it would have been finished in 2017 or something.
Yeah. But the problem is Chris Roberts should have realized this right after the Kickstarter when he had probably 100 million or so, even more. I think he had, it actually says here, $63 million.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That's 600 million kroners.
And it's like, how many people that has actually wanted to play the game do you actually believe will go back and play it when it's released? I probably won't.
If it releases as a full game, finished full game at full game price, I'm probably going to go on YouTube, watch a video of it, see if it's worth playing.
Yeah.
When you say this, you're forgetting one thing. This studio, the 6 months before release, will have an insane marketing campaign with a lot of good gameplay trailers,
Yes.
which will make a lot of people interested in playing it.
Yeah.
Sure.
If it's as good as they promise that it's going to be.
But a lot of people already played it, and it's like, okay, Star Citizen. Or Star Citizen.
But we haven't really.
No, but it's like, I probably won't go back to it because I played it, I tested it.
Yes, but you don't remember that this was initially started in 2013, meaning the people that were too young to watch those trailers are now interested in it if they release a trailer for it 6 months before release.
For sure, it's gonna get.
So you have young people that will literally just, oh, that looks cool. I've never seen that before.
If the game lives up to the hype,
Of course.
it's going to be amazing. If it doesn't, it's going to fail hard because it needs to live up to the hype.
Sure.
Hmm.
And it's gonna get a lot of players, but I think it's also lost a lot of players
Yeah.
because of the way it's done.
I think it's at the same risk as No Man's Sky, which is it was hyped and it looked sweet and the concept was awesome, and it belly flopped massively.
I loved the marketing campaign for that game.
Mm.
I've only seen it after because I knew about the game, but I didn't care much and the sort of hype up to it. But I've seen a lot of the clips and interviews that people are complaining about, where sort of multiplayer was promised and all of that.
Mm.
And I think the problem with the publisher for No Man's Sky is that they said too little about the game, and people assumed too much, and they didn't sort of say, no, we're not doing this. For example, multiplayer. They never intended to actually do multiplayer. But in interviews, when he was asked or talked about the multiplayer feature, he just didn't say anything.
Mm.
So he let people assume that this game would be a multiplayer Infinite Galaxy game,
That's almost worse.
which it almost is now.
It is worse.
But at release?
Well, yes,
Because-
the game is now that.
Yeah. At release, do you know what the multiplayer feature was?
What?
If you were lucky in an Infinite Galaxy, you could find planets that your friends had
Into.
sort of claimed. You could see their names on the planets.
Yeah.
And then they expanded on this because people were complaining. Now you could see a white blob in the air. That was the multiplayer feature. But the problem is it was never actually promised, I believe. It was
Possibly,
just
yeah.
assumed by the fans and the
Yeah.
sort of hype train that it would have full
But
multiplayer.
If that is the truth, then they should have at some point specified what the game would be.
Yeah, because he knew that people were thinking that.
Yeah, of
But
course
he
he
didn't
knew.
say, no, it's not multiplayer. That's the problem with being an indie game developer as well. You didn't know how to do press. That guy, I remember that guy was very awkward in interviews.
A lot of game developers typically are,
Yeah,
even from big companies, when they get like the set designer to come and talk to someone in media, they're like, yes.
but they usually
Can you
have
expand on that?
They usually have a marketing department to assist.
Yeah, but if you've watched like medium-sized companies and they put the like lead designer in front of a camera, they're like, yes. And then the interviewer is like, can you expand on that? Yes. It's the people that make games, make them, I mean, like design stuff and program, they are nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Nerds don't. Hi, I'm in front of a camera. I would, in my younger years, I didn't expect me to be here.
Yep.
Hello.
That is what we're thinking right now,
Yes,
sitting here.
exactly.
I'm not.
But yeah, so we've talked about big and small,
Mm.
but we haven't talked about sort of, I believe, one of the worst offenders in the last 5 years of
No Man's
being
Sky?
a shitty publisher and developer, which is Activision Blizzard.
Mm.
And especially with one of their latest but most hyped remakes, Warcraft 3 Reforged.
That one hurt
It did.
my soul.
It hurt straight into my childhood.
Yes, all the way back to my
And
childhood.
like, okay, I've played Reforged quite a bit. It's not terrible, but it has big missing elements, and it's not really a good remaster.
It's not a good remaster. Mainly for me, it was because they essentially used the Warcraft, World of Warcraft models, just put them in that.
You know what what else they did? Have you played the story in
No.
either of the games?
No.
No, I played the original Warcraft 3 story
Yes,
for
the
both Reign
original
of Chaos
yes.
and First and Throne. If you play them again now, they're not the same.
What?
because they're based on World of Warcraft lore.
Oh, god damn it.
So what they did in World of Warcraft, first of all, it's a clusterfuck because it's a
Too much.
very long process with a
Yeah.
lot of DLCs. But they changed some of the backstory to fit the new narrative of the open world game. One of these things, for example, is the massacre of this one village by Arthas.
Arthas?
Yeah.
Yes.
They changed that entire city, the entire setting, everything about it. And that's also been changed in Warcraft 3 Reforged, the game.
Oh, that's not
The
acceptable.
entire map is changed. The mission is changed. The dialogue is changed. And that's the same for a lot of the story to fit in with the future development of the characters in World of Warcraft.
I'm offended by... I'm offended on part of my childhood by that.
Yeah.
That is unacceptable. If you're making a remake, it's a remake. It's the same game. Well, not remake. Remaster would be the same game. But a remake of such an iconic game, you can't change it.
No.
That's not allowed.
The story can only be improved, not changed.
Yes. You
I
can
never played the story, but wasn't it like when the remastered version came out, you could only play like bits of it? Like, it wasn't like 1 or 2 chapters of the story on release date?
No, I think the entire story was there. I know they had problems like ladder not being available, which is one of the biggest blunders, I think. A lot of people were still playing Warcraft 3 ladder matches.
Oh, yes.
And what they did when they released Reforged is they shut down Battle.net for the old client.
Oh,
And they didn't have ladder matches ready for Reforged.
No.
Which
Ladder
means,
being ranked.
which means it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
They got ladder age for that, I suspect.
Have you guys played the Age of Empires 2 remake?
No.
It's interesting because they also did a remake, but it's only a remake of the base game. No, that's Heroes of Might and Magic, I'm thinking.
Ah, yes.
The remake there is only a remake of the base game, not the expansions.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, if I'm correct, that's because they didn't have the source code for any of the expansions, only the original game. So they couldn't, without remaking them properly, actually make the expansions reforged or remade.
Yes.
But Age of Empires 2, that remake is actually a true remake, I think. It's insanely close to the original.
Oh, nice.
Which is promising because Blizzard Activision was recently sold to
Good.
the people who remade Age of Empires 2.
Good.
Do you know who this is?
No.
Microsoft.
Oh, yes, Mike. But I thought you more meant the game studio.
No, I don't actually remember the name of the game studio for Age of Empires, the original, because they were purchased by Microsoft before they made Age of Empires 3, I believe. But Age of Empires 5, I think, is the most recent one, is actually pretty good. I didn't like Age of Empires 3 or 4. I don't remember if there was a 4. I think so.
It's like Heroes of Might and Magic 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I didn't like those.
But the thing they did with Age of Empires 3 is they started doing like godly stuff and mythology and stuff like that. And I didn't like it at all. But the newest Age of Empires has taken that away. It's very true to the second edition. Just new, improved, and it's pretty awesome.
Oh.
When did the newest release? Or the remake?
It's just last year or so.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or pre-corona, possibly.
Yeah.
It's not long ago.
I liked Age of Empires, so I should
Yeah,
probably,
it was nice.
should probably check it out.
Yeah.
I don't remember the word.
Yeah, it's Age of Empires
remember.
4. So 3 was the last one, and then they started doing other games that were similar in feel.
Yeah.
And then they did Age of Empires 4. It's still developed by Relic Entertainment. That's the original studio.
Yeah. I don't remember the wording, but I do remember Lamborghini with the trebuchet.
Yeah.
Funny.
But yeah, the 4 is a really good game. And that's surprising because I didn't expect a good Age of Empires game to come out in 2021, considering I didn't like the last one.
True. I would probably be of the same opinion, but I haven't played since 2.
Yeah.
So...
But that does give me a little bit of hopes for Microsoft as a game publisher.
Yes.
Because they didn't promise anything. They didn't tease it very much. They released the trailer shortly before the release date. They released the game
Without bugs.
smoothly.
Nice.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, I
But
haven't heard anything bad.
To be fair, Microsoft at its core is mainly a software development firm. And to release software, you need it to be like 95% functioning.
Yeah.
And if you employ a little bit of that to game development, you go back to how they did it before. Diablo, Heroes of Might and Magic, all that stuff.
I didn't even know Microsoft released any games outside of Flight Simulator.
Halo.
Oh, yeah, that's Microsoft.
They do
that's
release
Microsoft. They release a lot of good games. They just don't.
Never played Halo.
They just don't advertise their name very much on the
Yeah.
games, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, because
I think
they advertise the game,
Yeah.
which is good.
Wasn't it Microsoft who released Perfect Dark Zero?
I'm not sure. It's one of the original Xbox 360 games.
We loved that game.
I don't remember that game.
Me and
Perfect
Sindre.
Dark. It's not a very popular big game,
No, me and Sindre.
but it
Was
was
it?
it
Like
was one
Splinter
of
Cell?
the sort of earliest games for Xbox 360, I think.
It's a shooter, FPS shooter, like Counter-Strike type-ish game.
Oh, okay. I see.
But a bit more sci-fi-ish.
Hmm.
We played that a lot.
Yeah, we did on the Xbox.
I played
Yeah, it's Xbox Game Studios that made the game, which is Microsoft.
on the. I think the game I remember most fondly, not the one I played most, but remember most fondly from Xbox is probably A Bard's Tale: Quest for Coin and Cleavage.
Never heard of
If
it.
you haven't played it, you should. It's an old game, but it's fantastic.
I don't play old games.
I do. I haven't played it.
You haven't.
You should.
If you can get a hold of it, you should play it because it's quite inspirational for
What was the
role
name?
playing. A Bard's Tale:
Oh yeah,
Quest for Coin and Cleavage.
I've been meaning to play it a few
Yeah.
times before.
It's fantastic for ideas for role playing games because it's very much out of the box. You play as the Bard, starting the game by killing the rats in the basement of the tavern. And you go into the woods and you kill a wolf. And then the narrator literally voiceovers. The Bard, having survived the scuffle with the wolf, find a chest in its chest cavity. No, wait, what? That's not supposed to be there. How can it even fit? And the Bard responds with, that's how I get all my money. It's a very fourth wall breaking game.
Are we talking original 1985 or are we talking 2004?
2004, I think, because 1985, I was not born.
It's a little bit like Fallout 1 and 2. And
It's an
little bit-
isometric top-down.
Yeah, but also the humor and the fourth wall
Yes,
breaking
yes,
and just
yes.
being a hilarious,
Game.
fantastic game and
Yeah.
story.
It's not a widely known game, but for the people that have played it, they do love it or like it.
Yeah.
I haven't met any that hate it after playing it.
But that's your best memory from an Xbox game?
No, it's my most fond
Ah,
game
okay.
from Xbox. I didn't have an Xbox myself. I
Ah.
played it at my friend's house.
Yeah.
By all means, I played. Jesus Christ! Not Street Fighter, not Tekken. The Xbox one, which was it?
Mortal Kombat,
No,
Capcom.
God damn it! I don't remember.
Is
I
it-
only remember the Drunken Fighter.
Dead or Alive.
Yes, Dead or Alive. I played a lot of Dead or
Yeah,
Alive.
me too.
And I played Halo and the usual ones, but my the rose-colored image in my mind is A Bard's Tale: Quest for Coin and Cleavage.
That's the weirdest thing for me because I never played. I played a lot of games, but I never played Halo. Never played Halo.
Kenneth,
Yeah.
you might not have noticed, but this is the first time since we started doing a podcast that I've talked about Blizzard.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
Do you remember why?
Yes.
Because you hate them.
Because of their insane culture and the shit that they did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm only talking about them now because they don't really exist anymore. Because of
True,
the
because
purchase.
Microsoft is.
Yeah, but you know how much Microsoft paid
Too much.
for Activision Blizzard?
Way too much.
Yeah, that's.
I wouldn't say way too much,
Considering the shit they did and
Yeah.
was released in media.
but they're not buying the leadership. They're not buying the people who did this shit. They're buying the IPs, and the IPs are still gonna sell.
True.
172 billions.
If Diablo 4 comes out, it's gonna sell.
True.
If Warcraft 4 comes out, it's gonna sell.
Yeah, but to be fair,
World of Warcraft still brings in money.
oh yeah, if Microsoft
Call of Duty still brings in money.
If Microsoft now tell me we're gonna make Warcraft 4, not World of Warcraft, Warcraft 4, I'll be yes, I can wait.
I'd buy it. I pre-ordered it.
I won't pre-order it, but I'll look forward to the release.
I never bought Diablo 2 Remastered, even though Diablo 2 was my favorite game ever.
I did buy the remaster.
I didn't because of the culture. I might buy it once I know that this merger is fully complete.
But you can't leave that question hanging. You said how much did
the Blizzard deal was worth $68.7 billion.
Damn, bro.
Which is equivalent to 687,000 million kroner.
Oh, damn. Yep.
Think about that number. Think about that number. I saw a video once with 1 billion rice corns. That's a pretty big pile.
Yes, it's a huge
Think
pile.
about that times 68.
Yeah.
That would maybe fill this room.
Yeah.
With rice.
1 billion?
68.7 billion. 1 billion is a pretty
it would fill this room and probably most of the store, I believe.
I don't think it's that big, actually.
I think
it's rice corns.
Yeah, but it's quite a lot, though. But still, it's the same concept as there was a storyteller that got a job with the Sultan, and he asked only for payment in the form of, if you have a singular rice corn on the first tile of a chessboard, double it for each next one. That is what I want as payment.
Yeah.
And he robbed that sheik. He didn't have any money after that. To be fair, he didn't get that money. The sheik killed him.
So if you turn around this table and make it a box, it would almost be 68 point something.
Only
billion.
that?
Yeah. It's rice corns, so they're very small.
Yeah, they are very small, but it's a lot of
But
corns.
it's if you visualize it, 1 million compared to 1 billion, it's 1,000 of 1 million. So it grows exponentially.
True. That's a lot. But hopefully Activision Blizzard is going to be in better hands. Yeah.
Hopefully Microsoft is going to make some good games.
Because I do love most of the games.
Which they already do, but still.
I do love most of the games.
Jeff Bezos' wealth is the equivalent of 26 kilos of rice.
Is that the new banana?
Yeah.
Yes.
Banana scale now. It's
rice for size.
But anyway.
Yes.
It's time for my bi-weekly Always Geeky quiz.
Nice.
Oh no!
I'm going to lose again. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I think
Kenneth, do you have a buzzer for me today?
Mm.
That's a good one. Åvar, do you have a buzzer for me?
Oh, God.
I didn't want that.
Too bad.
Too late.
Your initiative was too slow.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to make quizzes based on what we're talking about in the podcast. So, I've made a video game related quiz for this podcast. So, I want buzzers ready.
Mine was
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
When was the Elder Scrolls Skyrim released? Kenneth?
Gotta be something like 2014.
I want the day, month, and year.
Oh,
Åvar?
7th August 2014.
I have no concept, but I would say 2012. I have no day, no month.
Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. I want the day, the month, the year, and the clock. The time. The exact time.
Kenneth?
Kenneth?
Is it 12?
Close. It's more binary than that.
It's
Kenneth?
Is it 10?
Almost.
Ooh, God. Is it just 010101?
No. I'm going to say it now
just say it because
it's the 11th, 11/11, and the clock was 11/11. So
I
it
did-
was 1 1 1
that
1
was-
1 1 1 1.
Yeah, that's far too specific.
So I did 12, 12, 12, 12, 12,
Yeah,
and 10,
almost.
10, 10, 10.
I'm always going to remember that release date because I worked at Elshep during that release date. So we watched the clock when it was 11/11/11. We let people come in and take the game.
Elshep being an electric store in a
Yeah.
way. Yeah. Okay, so I did 10 and 12. I did not do 11.
So
Yes,
that's
we
a
both-
very iconic release date.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
What is the biggest game in the world in regards to disk space? And I'm giving you a bonus point if you can say me how large the game is.
Ooga.
Åvar?
I have a small question beforehand.
Yep.
Disk space at the time or disk space now?
Let's say currently, because I believe the number I have is currently.
This is a hard
Battlefield 2042?
Meh.
one.
Kenneth, do you have a guess?
Something that's big. I probably heard about it, but
I'm going to give you a hint after he says something,
Okay.
if he's wrong.
I can't come up with anything that should be that big or the biggest.
Something has to be that big.
Yeah,
because something has to be the
I can't
biggest.
come up with something that should be the biggest.
Oh, he can't answer.
No.
I'm actually surprised by the 10th biggest, which was, what's it called again? Rainbow Six Siege.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But that's because it's always being updated. There's so much
Yeah.
new things coming out all the time. But we did talk about the publisher today.
Is it World of Warcraft?
No.
Okay. I was guessing it was not.
Ooga. Is it Diablo 3?
No. But you're both on the correct publisher, just the wrong side of the publisher.
It can't be Call of Duty.
It is Call of Duty.
Really?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Really?
That game is 231 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Did
why?
not expect that at all.
They don't remove any unnecessary files, do they? Oof.
No. But it's also a very new game, and it's very big.
Yeah, it's very graphically
Yeah.
pleasing, but still,
So games are getting big. Bigger and bigger and
they
bigger.
always have.
That game on its own needs an SSD.
Yeah, because my question was relevant because if it was now or then, I would have said Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Because it was like 4 or 5 discs. I mean CDs.
Okay, so
that's
far
new.
we have 0 points. I'm not giving you that
No,
point
that's
because
fair.
I gave you the answer.
Yes.
That's fair.
So, question number 3. How long was Cyberpunk 2077 in development?
Ooga.
Åvar?
8 years?
Kenneth?
Has to be more. It was a lot. Probably 12 years.
Wrong, both of you.
More than that.
Then it's a guessing game, so you can
Yep.
just get no
I'm
points.
giving you one guess each more.
11 years?
Kenneth?
16 years.
Both are wrong on all of those. It's 9 years.
Oh.
You almost had it on
Yeah,
the
I
first one.
almost had it.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it. I knew it was a long time, but I was uncertain of, like, I didn't think it was more than 10. But, yeah.
My fourth question is based on a game I thought we might be talking about today, but I forgot to talk about it. That's Stellaris. Have anyone of you any experience with Stellaris?
Minor.
Yeah.
Minor.
They recently released a DLC,
Oh, no.
which broke the game for everyone who didn't have the DLC. It didn't break the game. It unbalanced the game so much that it was basically unplayable unless you had the DLC.
Oh.
And this was not on purpose. They just didn't test the base game anymore. They tested the DLC. Oh, it works fine. And then they realized after release that they unbalanced the entire game unless you paid like, I don't know how much a DLC costs these days, $20.
Probably $5 or $10 or $20. I don't know.
This is a full expansion, so it's probably closer to $50.
Probably $20 or $30 then,
Yeah.
I suspect.
But my fourth question, which is related to a game none of you have much experience with, so I'm guessing none of you are going to get the answer. How many DLCs does Stellaris have? And I'm giving you a bonus if you can say how many of those DLCs are full expansions.
So let's say
Please
7 expansions and 2 of them are full.
Kenneth?
How old is the game?
The game, I don't know.
Is it a new game or old game?
It's not a
fairly
very old game,
now.
but it is an old game. If you know what I mean. It's
Okay.
like 2016 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2016.
Okay.
Exactly.
May of 2016.
1 point for Sindre.
I'm getting more points than you guys
Yes.
today.
5 expansions, 2 full.
The correct number since 2016, so in 6 years, is 14 DLCs, where 5 of them are full expansions.
Damn.
The 6th one coming out soon.
Damn.
Active
So that's
company.
15 DLCs.
To be fair, it's a very for the fans that like Stellaris, it's a very, 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 very good game.
Yeah, I like it. But the thing is, you say it's a very active studio, right?
Yeah.
It's Paradox Plaza that makes the game. Paradox Interactive, I mean.
Paradox
Paradox
Interactive.
Plaza is. Anyway, they make the game. They also make a game called Crusader Kings. They also make a game called Europa Universalis. They also make a game called Victoria, and they make a game called Iron something.
Heart of Iron.
Heart of Iron. All of these games have that many DLCs coming out all the time.
Damn,
Jesus.
bro. That's pretty good.
And they used to be very good all the time, but they're starting to sort of
Peter out.
not test as much
Yeah.
and release a little bit faster.
I
but-
suspect because they have another project running, because it's typically that makes updates less.
Yeah, that's the same
less
thing with
thought through.
Diablo 3.
Yeah.
They removed the main development team and started doing a side team for just maintaining and updating Diablo 3,
Mm.
which sort of means that the juniors and second tier developers and not the main developers are working on it, which means they still come out with new content, but it's poor
Inconsistent.
quality.
Yes.
And that also leads me to something that's very related to this, and that's The Sims. I remember this when The Sims 4 came out, I think. That's the first game in the Sims series that didn't have a ladder for the pool on release. The ladder for the pool came in the first expansion pack.
A lot
The
of
Sims
Sims
1,
died.
The Sims 2, The Sims 3 all had ladders for the pool.
Mm.
The Sims 4 didn't. Which to me just screams that we've already planned our expansion packs.
Mm.
And this is something that fits well into our outdoorsy expansion pack. But isn't that a core feature?
But
Yes, it is.
the ladder with the pool and the Sims is a meme also. So it could
Yes,
have
it
been
is.
done in
No.
because
They had a few things like that. It's just the ladder stands most out because you kind of need a ladder for the pool.
Well, it's
You could do it without
you
it.
could get out of a pool without a ladder, but I think it is by law, if it's a certain size, you have to have a ladder. Because if people fall in, they need the availability to get out of the pool if they are physically weaker than normal or
But in the
whatever.
Sims thing is the whole game is like the Sims guys can't get out of the pool without the ladder.
I think they could in the first game maybe. but
Yes.
I know they removed a lot of sort of core content and added it to the first and second patches.
Mm.
But I think that when you release The Sims 2, you should have the things that really make The Sims 1 good in the base game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same with the third. Everything that makes The Sims 2 good, you should have that plus something else in The Sims 3.
Yeah.
And going
Yeah,
forward.
I
but
do agree with you.
That's
but
like Twilight Imperium, the board game,
yes.
where they made a 4th edition now.
Yep.
I think, yeah. And that game sort of incorporates the best parts of the 2 expansions from the last edition.
Yes, but there is one small issue with that, which is if you make all the follow-up games, the base first game plus a little bit extra, you will eventually have no new inventions. It's by all means you do have black sheep like Heroes of Might and Magic 4. I don't think a lot of people like that game because it was such a big step away from 1, 2, and 3. Because the gameplay was so different. For me personally, it was like, the hell is this? No, I don't want this. I didn't ask for this. Why have you done this to me? You cruel bastards. So you might end up with that, or you might end up with just remaking the first game plus an expansion, plus an expansion, plus an expansion.
I just remember very well that The Sims 4 didn't feel like a complete game coming off of The Sims 3, just because it didn't feel like it had any content. It was missing so many, like, just building content.
But as you said yourself, they seem to have planned the DLC before release, and that's a very, very big pothole to fall into as a game company.
Yeah, but they know they make most of their money from the DLCs. And so I get it why they're doing it. I just think try to hide it just a little bit more. Don't make it too obvious. Like Crusader Kings 3, for example, that I just talked about. In Crusader Kings 3, they had stuff like, or in Crusader Kings 2, in one of the last expansions, they gave you customizability of the world, and they gave you something that could modify your your kings, your characters. And in CK3, they added this as a free update right after release, which I like it when they do it that way. But you don't need to add all of the extra story-based content. You don't need to add the extra like things that doesn't need to be in the base game that would just delay development for a long time.
True.
But things that could be fun to have for some people, please give me that in a DLC. Yeah, no problem. Anyway, Åvar.
Yes.
I like this part of the podcast.
Oh, are we there?
Because it means I can sit and listen to you talk a little bit.
Yes.
Before that,
0 points for anyone.
0 points.
We
for
both
everyone.
suck.
Yeah.
And we lost. So
I'm still in the lead, though.
Oh, wait, we have a fifth question.
okay.
No, but you said the fifth one.
No, that was the
You
fourth
skipped
one.
the fourth one.
No, we said the fourth one.
Yeah, I said the last one. No, there's
Yeah,
one more.
you asked Stellaria for the fourth one. No, and then you skipped to the fifth one.
Oh, anyway.
We have video evidence.
Anyway, we're on the fifth one.
Okay.
How long after the original Warcraft 3 was the Reforged edition released? Bonus, give me the release dates. Kenneth? He is
10, 16.
hitting his buzzer.
18 years.
He's hitting his buzzer before being ready to
Yeah,
answer.
he's cheating.
But okay, what did you say?
18.
What's the dates?
The dates, I don't know.
You get 1 point for 18 years.
Okay.
Do you have the years?
Years?
Yeah, just years.
The remake was released 2 years ago. So
You said
it's-
dates. I know the years.
What's the years?
2004, I believe the first one. Could be 2003. And 18 years after that.
So, Warcraft 3 Reforged came out this year. Åvar,
No.
your turn.
Warcraft 3 did not come out this year because we're in 2023.
2022.
Sorry. Apologies. My brain
And
did not function.
2004
It
plus
came out last
18
year.
is 2022.
It came out last year. No, not last year. The year before that. Or was it released for pre-purchase then maybe? I don't know.
What's the dates? Or years?
So 2021 for the last one, the remake. No, 2020 I mean. Yes, 2020. And so 12 years before that. So 2008?
Nice.
18 years.
Didn't he say 12?
18.
Oh, apologies. So 2002.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
I'm going to guess now. I think the original game came out in July 2002.
Could be.
Because I remember waiting for the release date, and then we went on vacation exactly that week.
That could be.
And I was kind of annoyed because I had like this pamphlet with Warcraft 3 on it, and I was just so excited. I played the demo like 1,000 times.
Oh, okay. I didn't play Warcraft 3 that much.
But do you know the release date of World of Warcraft?
World of Warcraft should be 2. No, isn't it? Oh my god.
There are quite literally two things I don't remember. I don't have the memory for them. It's numbers and names. Why are you asking me this?
Yeah. Warcraft 3 was July 2002.
Yeah.
I should have remembered the day as well. It was the 3rd.
Is it 5 or 6?
Waiting for it so long.
I will never remember that. Kenneth got 1 point.
World of Warcraft
Yep.
is it 2005 and 2006?
It's 2003, I believe.
No.
Ask me the lore. I know the lore.
It's very surprisingly the year after Warcraft 3.
That was a couple of years after.
No, it's 2004.
Okay.
It's November 2004. I believe the trailer and stuff was released in 2003. I just remember it was really close to Warcraft 3.
But wait.
Ask me the lore instead.
Wait.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Did I
Shut up.
Did I just
Shut
win
up.
a quiz?
Shut up. You guessed.
Yeah. You won a quiz
You guessed.
where we had 5 questions, 2 bonus questions, and you had 1 point
And I had 0.
out of 7.
It's confirmed. I'm a bigger nerd than Åvar.
No.
No.
You remember numbers. I don't.
Yeah, so most of what I had today was numbers.
Question. What was Arthur's initially, his class?
King.
Nope.
He's a king.
Nope. I asked his class.
Class in World of Warcraft.
Yes. No, Warcraft.
Paladin.
Warcraft.
Yes, he was a paladin.
I know.
And
then he
him
became-
There's a king.
him and Uther were both paladins.
They were both paladins.
But yeah, I want to hear your review.
Movie quiz.
I'm on a roll now, so I need to get this as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
On a
Okay.
roll.
Okay.
I'm on a roll.
Let's see now. One moment.
He also guessed that Warcraft 3 Reforged was released this year.
No, not this year.
He
I know, I said
He
this
did,
before,
yes.
but I calculated from 2002 when I calculated it, because I knew it was 2 years ago, and I remembered it was after 2000. But then when I started again...
Okay, let's see now. Bad reviews with Åvar, Sindre, and Kenneth.
Yay.
So, the title is, the review is 1 out of 10. The title is, How Low Can Your Brow Go? It's truly sad the things that pass for entertainment these days. I'm no prude, but hearing the F-bomb used more like a carpet bomb from wall to wall gets really tiresome really quick. I guess the director thinks he can use these countless obscenities to prop up what little there is of plot. I don't see the movie, so I can't. I didn't see the movie, so I can't attest as to whether or not this is a worthy successor. But standing on its own, it's a total failure. The actor, while being much better than I thought he would be, isn't giving anything to work with. The dialogue is childish. The direction is sorely lacking, and the performances are either wooden or wildly over the top. You're doing the other movie, a secondary movie. They're referencing a secondary movie. You're doing the other movie a disservice by mentioning it in the same breath as this disaster. All the 10-star reviews, give me a break. I think Sindre has a very, very good guess.
No.
Not a lot to go on.
It's a lot to go on, actually.
Until you said sequel.
What? Sequel? No.
Or you said there was another movie or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a secondary movie that's...
So this is
It's not related to this movie at all, but it's comparing it to this other movie.
Do you
So
also-
it's another... Okay, do you want me to say that movie?
No.
No, not yet.
But the movie I was thinking of throughout the thing, except for this part, was Pulp Fiction.
You did say earlier in it, you said, when he said he hadn't watched it.
No, he's not a prude.
But he hasn't watched
the
the other
reviewer.
movie? Or hasn't he watched this one?
There's a point you said he didn't watch it, and it's something about the first one.
Oh, yes. He didn't watch the movie of this. Not the movie relating to this. He didn't watch the movie relating to this, so I can't attest to whether or not this is a worthy successor. But standing on its own, it's a total failure. So the movie, as an explanation, that would be a slight hint. The movie was made, and then this was made. The movie is related. Well, the series is related to the movie. Damn it! I said
this
series.
is a series. Okay.
God damn it! I made it. I dropped a hint. God damn.
TV series and a movie.
Series is related to the movie, and there's a lot of F-bombs. I'm really struggling.
Yeah. I don't feel like
The review is a movie?
What?
No,
Where's the movie-
on the TV
series?
series.
The review is of the series.
Yeah.
You want to know the movie it equates this to.
Okay.
Sure.
You're doing Deadpool a disservice by mentioning it in the same breath as this disaster.
Deadpool. We're talking about a series. I am very confused.
Me too.
Do you want to know the director's name?
I'm thinking The Boys or something like that.
Sure.
The director's name is James Gunn.
Oh. He's done a lot of good stuff that I haven't
Yes.
seen.
And I quite enjoy this series. I can say it's a new series.
Oh, it's the I know what we're talking about now. It's the Peacemaker. Is that what his name is?
It is.
Ah.
You gave it away though. But
Yeah, I did. I said James Gunn and F-bombs. It's the Peacemaker series modeled after Peacemaker in the secondary Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad. I've actually talked to you about it. I've actually recommended it to you.
Yeah.
I'm watching the Peacemaker series right now. I mean,
And you didn't realize it?
episode 6 or 7, but I didn't feel like there was anything.
They
in that
say
review.
the F-bomb repeatedly all the
I
time.
haven't seen it yet,
Yeah, but a lot of
but
stuff does that.
You should really watch it, Sindre.
I did see.
I will say
I did start watching the second Suicide
Squad
movie, but I haven't finished it.
Oh, you haven't finished it?
I
Oh,
don't remember
you
why.
need to.
I probably got distracted by D&D thoughts.
yeah,
I
probably.
do that sometimes when watching
But
things these days.
The first Suicide Squad movie is the action parts are quite actiony, but it is kind of hollow.
Okay.
In a way. The second Suicide Squad movie is
Much
very
better,
good.
Yeah.
it's very
Like-
much worth watching.
Like I've only seen half of it, but so far it's so much better.
Oh yeah. It's like-
it's a Suicide Squad movie. It's
Yeah.
not a whatever the fuck the other one was.
Yes.
I feel like saying the fuck there was just perfect.
Very perfect.
That's pretty good.
So, Peacemaker is the TV series based around Peacemaker after Suicide Squad happens.
Yeah.
And it explains so much of why Peacemaker is Peacemaker.
Mhm.
And it's so very American in a way. And it's so funny.
He has a pet eagle.
Yes, he has a pet eagle.
Yeah,
Do you know the name of that eagle? Eagly.
nice.
I love that movie. No, serious. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I
fantastic.
can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
It's
It's not for everyone. It's kind of if you made PG 15, 16, PG 15 or 16 Deadpool series.
so it's lower rating. It's not rated R.
Yeah.
Like the
It
movie
might be
is.
rated R because there
It
is
should be rated R.
Eh,
They show,
blood and violence is very low on the American scale.
but they do show.
In Norway, it's a rated R. I
They-
would suspect.
They do show the like a female private part.
They do?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
the neither regions.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, so it's PG. It's rated R. Then.
Yeah, should
I didn't remember that.
It's rated TVMA, which is TV mature.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because I didn't remember that part. It's such a minor part for me.
indeed. Well, it is a minor part.
I
It is a-
believe TVMA might be the equivalent of rated
But yeah,
R
it
in
is mature or R or whatever the hell it is. It's for adults. But most of it could be watched by teenagers,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say.
Yeah,
15, 16 to up,
Yeah.
I would say.
But I have a problem with lack of time recently, and when I do have time, I'm thinking about D&D all the time.
Yeah, but that is kind of your
Yeah.
main hobby. So, yeah.
And that's a problem because I can't read audiobooks anymore. Because I can't listen to the book and think and not just start thinking about D&D stuff right away.
You were supposed to bring me a book. Did
Yep,
you bring it?
I haven't brought it yet. I will bring it.
Good.
I will. But no, due to my mind loving D&D,
Mhm.
I've actually already written. So, first time ever, I'm going to announce that we're getting close to the end of our D&D campaign,
You
and
said
we're
so
going
earlier.
to start a new one very
Ah.
soon. And I've already written the first episode in my head. I have the details from the start to the finish,
Nice.
except for the character-related stuff.
Ah,
But I like it to start.
I have my character ready.
I'm very looking forward to starting that new campaign.
Mm.
But okay, we're coming to the end of tonight's episode.
No.
But before we do, we need to talk about a board game.
Yeah.
Did we play a board game?
Yeah.
Did you play a board game, Kenneth?
No.
No,
So I
you
was
were
out-
down with
Because
COVID.
you were
I
a
was
sick
out
bastard.
COVID, so you didn't get to play it.
So me and Åvar
I want to hear about
played
it.
The Great City of Rome.
The great city of Rome.
So now we're going to play the video of Åvar, or the audio of Åvar, talking about this game.
Yes. Hi there, and welcome to the great city of Rome. Today, we have been hired by Caesar to build the most prosperous city in the known world. The players compete against each other to please Caesar by constructing many districts. We can build temples, schools, aqueducts, and farms to make our great city prosper. In the end, Caesar chooses who wins the game. Alea jacta est. The die is cast.
Okay, so Åvar, what do you think about the Great City of Rome?
I rather enjoyed it, and like you usually do, after having played it once, you realize your mistakes and some tactics from the game. Because I think there are tactics you can go for. It depends on luck, of course, and depending on how many players you play, you will have to modify your approach to the game. So we played two people, and if I played it again, I would probably go for the aqueducts again, but I would plan around the aqueducts.
Yeah, so
Because it was a very, very close game between us, points-wise.
Yeah.
So if I had planned slightly differently, I would actually have won that game, I believe.
Oh, so Sindre won again?
Yes.
yeah, so I'm still undefeated.
Gotta fix that.
Yep.
Gotta fix that.
So
No, you didn't win in Love Letter, did you?
No,
we
you
had a
didn't.
draw.
You lost.
No, we had a
talked
draw
about
at the end.
it. Okay, I
Didn't
think
we?
you lost.
You can't
Pretty
have
sure.
a draw in
we
that
can't.
game.
Yeah.
You lost last
Yeah, right. I did
You did
lose.
lose.
Talked
We
about
didn't
that.
play it on
Camera.
We
game
didn't film
night,
it.
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
But I only lost because I forgot to take one of my points, which I should have won because
No, you lost.
I did. But it's not a part of the game night, so it doesn't matter.
You're not undefeated.
like
But yeah,
the-
so the problem there is that the Great City of Rome is very especially for the first time playing, you need to almost be ready for what you're going to build before you start.
Yes.
And then you got to be lucky enough to get the buildings that you need to do that. And sort of if you do what you did, plan for doing the aqueducts, and then he starts getting the aqueducts, you're kind of like, oh shit, what do I do now?
Well, yes and no, because if you plan to have aqueducts, you will have the space available to build the aqueducts, but you can still build other stuff. You just have those places allocated already to aqueducts. But I would very much like to play that game again with more players, because we played with like half the deck of cards, essentially. The main parts, by all means, but there were one extra deck that we didn't use because we were only two people.
I think there might have been two, but I don't remember.
I don't remember. It's
But
been a long time and I'm old.
yeah, so I would like to try that game with 4 people. But yeah, what do you think ratings-wise on this game? It's a very different game to what we've played so far in this podcast or in the game night, because it's a more abstract game.
Yes, it's more abstract, but it felt to me afterwards like tic-tac-toe. Do you know that? Noughts and crosses. So circles and crosses. 3 in a row and you win. And it feels a little bit like you can play it optimally. But I don't know how it is with more players. So it might change something. But did I enjoy the game? Yes, very much. I liked it a lot. I suspect, based on 2-player only, that it will be somewhat predictable in a way. The only truly random thing is the deck of cards you draw the buildings from, which will be random based on how you shuffle it. So, for me, the rating would probably be around No better than a 6 for me, I think.
Okay.
A weak 6, but I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yep, you can do a 5.5 if you want.
What's a 6 again?
6 is would play again. 5 it's okay.
5.8. I would say.
5.8. I agree on most points that you say, and I also think that the game will be very predictable and very stale very fast. So it's not a game I will be playing. I might not ever play it again, maybe once. But it's not a game I'm going to take with me. It's not a game I'm going to say, oh, we should play this. But if you and Kenneth come and bring one other person and say, we should try this as 4-player once. Sure, I'll do so. But I do like the theme of the game.
Yes.
But it doesn't... The theme is not the game in this game. It's just an overlay. It's a look.
Yeah.
So...
But they chose the right look, though.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I'll put it on a strong 5. It's okay.
Yeah. Fair.
Kenneth, you've played this game before.
It's a 10.
No.
I think I've played it before a couple of years ago, but I can't remember.
So
Not close
Can't
enough to give it a
remember.
rating.
No, not at all.
So probably if you had to choose now, it would be a 5 because it's not particularly memorable and it wasn't bad enough to remember.
But I have really bad memory when it comes to games.
So this game is an average of 5.4 between us.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for the most interesting part of the podcast,
Yeah.
What are we gonna play?
we're going to play a new game. So I'm going to roll the wheel.
Nemesis?
Of board games.
The wheel of games. Not Nemesis. Okay, and we are playing Wingspan.
Wingspan.
I've played it
Wingspan?
twice before, I think. It's a pretty fun game. It's one of the most popular sort of casual family games.
I played it a lot of times.
I look forward to it.
Yep, so that's what we're going to be playing next week, and you guys will see it in 2 weeks.
So look forward to Wingspan.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to our channel. Please like the video, and if you want to tell Kenneth how wrong he is about bronies, leave a comment below.
Yes, do that.
Thank you. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.